And okay, so we're going to continue with our Tell Me Something Good for the week. Does anyone have anything good to share? Can be plexus or personal related.
Sure, I'll go.
Awesome.
I think the theme of last week was like consistency. Just stay consistent. You never know who's watching your stories, who's going to reach out to you, things like that. And I just had someone on, what's today? It's today, Monday. last week or over the weekend. They were referred to me like over a year ago. They reached out wanting to do plexus, never committed. And then whatever, over the weekend, she's like, okay, I'm ready for a change now. So I just thought that was you just never know. You know what I mean? Like, she never interacts with anything that I do on Facebook. And she just finally reached out to me. So I thought that was really neat.
That is neat. I love that. That's awesome. Makes you feel good. Anyone else? No? Okay, so we're going to get started. And I want to start by asking, who here feels that God brought plexus into your life? Drop a 1 in the comments. I can see some of you actually. And how many of you said that you were suffering in silence and you were afraid to say yes, and just this being skeptical? Like, I was that person. So 100%. So based on these 2 questions, what is holding us back? Like, why do we have all this hesitation? So many of us, have that goal of getting to Hawaii and to being, that leader like Brittany and Amber and Victoria, and yet we just always pull back. I mean, are you still searching for this? Because on a daily basis, I am. And we've all heard, like, life is a journey. It's not a destination. Like, it's going to continue to evolve, and we're going to continue to go through different seasons. And because of this, we show up differently in different seasons in our life, in our business, in our faith. I went through this in July. So I was like super upset with myself for not being in Kona with Victoria and Brittany. And it wasn't even for the trip itself. It was more or less as like, I didn't grow to the potential or the leader that I wanted to be by that time. And I put the mark on, okay, if I'm in Kona, then I showed up like I wanted to. If I'm in Kona, then I supported X amount of people by helping them reach their goals. And by me not hitting that, I was so upset with myself and like really in like the worst headspace. And if your mindset's not in check, like, you can sit there for a long time. How many of you have done that? How many of you have been in that bad space where you're like, I'm not, and you just wallow in it? And like, we hear it all the time on Power Hour and all of those things, but I feel like it's just such a constant thing that we all are working on all the time. So I know some of you have been wanting to, hopefully you guys can hear me because some people are not muted. Anyway, if you're not muted, try and mute yourself. So I know some of you have been trying to reach a goal for a long time, whether it's point-based or just getting that one person on board and consistent, or just being consistent with your morning routine and waking up and sharing. And it's hard. So I have this bracelet that was sent to me and it says, enjoy the journey. And I literally wear this every single day. And I'm sure some of you have it as well. And it is such a good reminder because we get stuck and it's just so hard to come out of, especially when you see other people doing the things that you hoped to be doing. So life is the journey to be enjoyed, and we need to remember that. And because we experience so many like discouraging and middle markers along the way, we just get stuck there. And we always hear like the most growth happens in the valleys and not at the peaks. And over this past year, I feel like last year I was really challenged to grow from our leaders. Like, Nicole, why aren't you doing your own team call? Nicole, why don't you have your own team page? You need to do X, Y, and Z. And literally a year has come and gone, and I still haven't done those things. Like, I'm preaching to myself here tonight, because it is just the fear. Like, it's crazy how fear just sets in and then you don't do it. And when things get hard, we want to stop. The frustration sets in. We get tired of the mundane activities of reaching out and saying, okay, hey, your sub's going to run. How can I help you? Some people don't even respond. 6 months later, they're like, I have a stockpile of stuff. What do I do? I don't want this. Or how do I get back on board? And you're like, oh my gosh, like, where's the disconnect? How did I miss these signs? Or how did I not help this person, do these things? So, and then, you'll say, I'll get to it tomorrow. And then tomorrow becomes a week, and then it becomes a month, the middle of the month. And then you're like, what the heck have I done? I haven't done anything to reach the goal that I set for myself, last month. And we just get weary and we give up. And I just want everyone to know, like, you're not alone. Like, we are all in this together, but we need to be reaching out more, like to Sideline Sisters, to your upline. There was a period all summer where I really wasn't on calls with Britt, and I got on one call with her after I was done with the pool, and I just felt so much better. Like, just to be able to talk about it. Like, we hold all these things inside because we don't want to bother them. Everyone's busy. Everyone's got a million messages on their phone, or, you'd just rather be doing something else at that point. And it's when we stop doing the things that we find the disconnect. We feel like so discouraged, and we just need to be reminded. So I'm here tonight to remind everyone that your goals are possible. They were put on your heart. You said at the beginning, like, God placed this in your life for a reason. And so many people, it's not just for their health, it's for the community. It is for the fulfillment that you get from this. Like, look at Steph. She has someone watching her for over a year. If she wouldn't have shared and continued to do those things, this person would have never have reached out to her, and they would be suffering and they wouldn't be getting the help that they need. So I love that you opened with that, because it is a constant reminder of the things that we are doing matters. And the greatest prize is like what you discover at the end of the journey, right? So the end of the journey isn't emerald, it's not diamond, it's how you want to be remembered at your funeral, or who you've impacted along the way. So how do we get to the end of the journey and feel great and feel like our life, we've fulfilled so much, and we feel like we've made a difference and we've actually made an impact? It's by doing the things every single day. Like watching my daughter's soccer game tonight, like all of these little kids are running around so determined, and they miss it, and then they're down at the other end of the field, and then they come right back to do the same thing and miss it again, and then all of a sudden they're back, and they just keep going and going and going. And it's just, as adults, like, why do we give up on that so easy? Why do we get discouraged so easy? It's hard at times, but we have to let the fear of failure go and just really focus on expanding from that. And I'm a perfectionist in so many ways. And like, I don't post like I should some of the time, because I'm like, oh, that's not me, or that I could do it better. But then if I'm not posting, then I'm upset with myself. I'm like, well, what's the difference does it make? Like, and then sometimes it's the posts that you put up and you're like, you don't think anyone's going to see or care about, and you get 5 messages from that. And you're like, well, okay, thank goodness that I finally, just listened and did the darn thing. So, like I said, back in July, I thought, I failed because I didn't make it to Hawaii, but I didn't. Like, I didn't fail because I didn't give up. Like, I I'm still here. I'm still doing the things. You know, that mindset of letting my husband down, letting my kids down, because they also wanted to be there. Like they want to go to Hawaii too. They keep saying, Mom, let's do this. Let's go to Hawaii. And I'm like, Mom is trying. Like, I'm really trying to do these things. So I had to get it in check. And honestly, that one phone call from Brittany, like pushed it all over for me. And then I was back where I needed to be to focus on making the impact. And impact was one of my words of the year. And I want to finish it strong and really live up to the potential of what the word means. And, you know, I thought I drew my line in the sand. I thought I had, you know, those God-sized dreams and goals, but here I was just, in a sense, like, we have such good leaders. Like we know Brittany is amazing at team calls. So I never started my own. I'm like, how are people going to want to come to my team call when Brittany's amazing at what she does? And it's easy to just run on that and let her do like her thing, because it's awesome, and to learn from her. But I know I need to step out, and I just need to adjust my timeline. So that's what I've done. I've adjusted the timeline. I'm going to start making an impact by doing my team calls and really stepping out of my comfort zone to grow and be the leader that I know is inside me and that God's pushing me to be. And when we make that impact, it's only because we've grown ourselves. If you're uncomfortable, if you're stuck, if you feel like there's no way out, you have to flip that script and just get it out. Like, not the boohoo, poor me type of attitude, flip into the growth and like, how am I going to step into this role and be the person that God has intended, that I've envisioned for myself? And there's a couple things that, have any of you read The Power of Five from John Maxwell? If not, I'm going to read some of it to you. So when it looks like I have failed, it's flipping that script. Failure does not mean I'm a failure. It does mean I have not yet succeeded. Failure does not mean I have accomplished nothing. It does mean I have learned something. Failure does not mean I have been a fool. It does mean I have enough faith to experiment. Failure does not mean I should give up. It does mean I must try harder. Failure does not mean I will never make it. It does mean I need more practice. And failure does not mean you have to abandon me. It does mean you must have a better idea. So try things differently the next time. And what people love about this community is that we are a people of doing. We are people who want to grow. We don't want to stay in the same spot. And it's so hard to get out of that comfort zone initially. But once you do, don't you feel so much better? Like getting into action, even if sometimes if you don't know what direction you're going, just taking the action, you just feel so much better and fulfilled. And just like the littlest comment of like, hey, I see that you're doing the hard things and I've been there, like really goes a long way. And this resonated with me when I read this, and it said, I quickly discovered that growth is the greatest spectator between those who succeed and those who do not. So I worked for the court for a long time and I loved what I did. I truly thought I was helping people and making a difference, but I also felt stuck, and so did everyone else in that office. Like, this is a business of growth. This is a business of caring for people outside of what people normally do. Like if Stephanie called me and said, hey, Nicole, like I really need your help. Can you come over here? I would be on my way. And Kelly I would do the same for you. You know, I'm 5 minutes down the road. Let me help you. You know, it's okay. Like it takes a village, you know, when they say that about kids, like it takes a village anyways. And we need to outgrow old expectations and grow into our new expectations. So starting this new call that I'm going to do, I'm so fearful. I may be the only one on it. That's going to be okay. And I always think back to what Alita and Cheryl and Megan said when they started Power Hour, like they were the only ones on there, but they did it anyways. And when last October, when Alita told me to do that, and she's like, I don't care if you're the only one on there for like 6 months, you need to do it anyway. And I'm like, okay. So we need to outgrow average relationships and grow into growing relationships. So who feels stuck with their friend group sometimes? That was me.
Kelly?
No, I didn't.
Kelly, can you mute?
Oh.
Thank you. That was me. Like 2 years ago, I felt kind of lost, and this community like brought it full circle to see like I wasn't losing those friends. I didn't want to, abandon them, but I needed more. Like I needed to fuel my soul. I needed to give it to God. I needed to share with others, the good things that were going on in my life instead of staying in such a small circle and not expanding. And here's another part that John Maxwell says, outgrowing your old self and growing into the newest version of you. Like it's everything we're doing. It's everything that we're trying to do, but sometimes we just lose track of it. And you will become bigger on the inside than you are on the outside. What is the result of this? You will build yourself and your business because you thrive in a growing environment. And when you truly give it to God and give it to others and show up that way, God shows up in big, big ways. I don't know if any of you have read Chase the Lion, but if you haven't, do it. So good. It fueled me all last summer, and I want to read it again at this point. So the Power of Five is really good. I think some of you are sent that when you rank silver or senior silver, and it's really good. Fuels you. So when you feel like you've failed and you just can't take another step, do it anyway. Send that last message. It will bring you one step closer to that goal. Even if that person ghosts you, even if they respond, weeks later, it doesn't matter. Like you're one step closer to your goal if you just take that one extra step. In the community, we all want to make an impact. And how do we do this? By stepping outside of our comfort zones and doing the personal growth. And when you get away from that, that's when you feel stuck. That's when you feel like, am I doing this? Should I be doing this, God? Like I used to wake up in the morning when I first started and be like, all right, God, if you want me to do this, you need to send me someone today. Well, I put my foot in my mouth every time because sometimes he'd send me 3 people. And I'd be like, all right, note taken, I'm here, I'm doing it. And then it would happen again. And I was like, oh my gosh. So like for a full year, I rode on that. And then it finally was like, no, Nicole, you need to be bigger than this. Like you need to start growing in personal ways and getting a different mindset around what he's trying to show me and grow me through this. So, and we've all seen those people that go from just joining to Emerald or just joining to Senior Gold or Ruby. And you're like, what are they doing? Like Gold or Emerald overnight, literally in a month. Is there something wrong with me because I can't do that? Like, what am I doing wrong? But if you are showing up consistently, you're doing the hard things, you're stepping outside of your comfort zone and doing what needs to be done, there is absolutely no difference between you and the person that went Emerald overnight. The only thing that you have in common at that point is you both have to do personal growth, but at different ranks in the company. They are going to be continually working to reach those points again while growing themselves to serve all of those people under them. But they're still going to have to grow and do the same things that you're doing at silver, senior silver, gold. And sometimes people give up and they just fall off. And we've seen that time and time again. How many people will rank gold and the next thing you know, they're gone? Because that's when it starts to get hard, when people are not wanting to respond to your messages, because not because of anything you said or did or didn't do, because they're not ready. It has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with timing and the fact that they are not ready to step into their journey. I had someone message me at the soccer games tonight. I've talked to her for over 2 years, and I voice clipped her today. I said, listen, I have this challenge. I know what your goals are, and this is what you need. I said, I understand being skeptical. I've been there. I've done that, but this is going to help you. And she messaged me back and said, yes, I need a change. I'm like, all right, girl, I'm here for it. I haven't messaged her back yet because I'm like, excited. I'll take a minute and talk to her tonight, but so funny. All right. So we need to give ourselves grace. So how many times do you wake up, you're like, oh my God, the morning, the house is already on fire. My kids are running all over. We're going to be late for school. I don't even have lunches packed, all of the things. Or you just woke up late. You don't feel like working out and you're going to be late to work because you're like, you know what? I'm stopping and getting that coffee because I'm not having it today. Like so many times that this happens. Give yourself some grace. Take a few seconds and pray. And the devotional that I have a couple of them actually. They're literally a page, one page. This could change the whole direction of your day. So take those 5 minutes for you. And if you woke up late, oh well, it's fine. You're going to make it to work. Everything's going to be okay. So how many of you, I don't know, all of you have a 9-to-5, but I know some of you do. How many of you have a 9-to-5? Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. Steph, I know you really love your job, which is awesome. And some of you might like it, but others are unsure, or and you feel in your heart that you should be doing something different. And Plexus is the thing you feel you should be doing. That was me. I didn't have a 9-to-5, but I was home and I knew that I had to do something for myself. It's not coincidence that you feel that way. You're here to make a difference and an impact. These feelings are on your heart for a reason, and you have to figure out why. You have to figure out which direction to take. You have to, figure out your audience. If you want to just help stay-at-home moms, if you want to help everyone, my goal is to help parents struggling with energy, struggling, with health. I will help anyone that comes to me. But lately, I just see all of these other people just running around me, exhausted, on coffee number 5, going through the drive-through for their kids because they just don't want to go home and have to make dinner and clean it up. And I'm called and I'm pulled to help them right now. This is my season of doing, that work. And I want you to, I'm going to read you some questions, and I want you to post this after you think about it in the 2022 chat so we can really help each other and hold each other accountable. So are you holding yourself accountable? Are you setting those goals and achieving them and holding yourself accountable for that? I don't mean beating yourself up over it. I don't mean, not just giving yourself the grace that you need. Okay, I couldn't do it this morning, so I'm going to do it this afternoon. That's great. But you're beating yourself up and you're, making it a negative and continuing down that path of failure and just that negative mindset. If that's you, write it down. Let's hear about it. If you want a goal of, I'm going to reach out to 35 new people this week, and you're going to, talk about X, Y, and Z with them. And it doesn't have to be Plexus related. It can be anything, and building relationships and adding value to these people's lives. It doesn't always have to be Plexus. Maybe you've reached out to these people before just about Plexus and they haven't messaged you back. Add value, send them a recipe, be like, hey, I thought of you. I know that you're a busy mom on the go. This has helped me. You know, so if you have 35 messages, figure out how you want to get that done. Are you showing up like God would want you to? You know, are you showing up for him in the way he would want you to? Are you giving him the glory? Are you doing it for him? Like, he put this on your heart. There's a reason. So we need to figure it out. I know I wasn't all summer. I was not, and I felt horrible for it. Like, I really did. I would like beat myself up over it. And I still would show up and help like the other people who are looking, you know, for direction and things, but I wasn't doing what I thought I should be or what I felt inside. So I'm with you on that. Are you still going after the goals like you said you would when you first started? Or are you just here? I've been in both places several times. Next month, I'll be sharing for 3 years or 4 years. Yeah, 3 years. Insane. I've been through all of these seasons. And it's funny because I told myself I was going to give it 3 years to get to Emerald. And my husband, after I told him that, you know, a couple months later, he's like, why wouldn't you give it 5 years? Why wouldn't you give it 10 years? He said, if you consistently do this and you make it to Emerald, you've already surpassed what you ever would in the career choice that you went to college for. And you would have already touched more people's lives than you ever would doing what you're doing. And then he said, okay, so you get to Emerald. Why wouldn't you go to Diamond? He said, so give it 5 years, give it 10 years, because the outcome is going to be more than you would ever imagine. And so here I am. I'm giving it my all. I'm not giving up. There's so many people that need to be impacted by this. Where was I at? Okay. And what's one thing you're afraid to do? What do you feel called to do, but you just haven't done it yet? What is like on your sleeves that you're like, I need to just get this out, but I don't know how, and I'm afraid. Are you there? Oh no.
I'm still here.
Okay, my computer is black.
Oh
All
no.
right, anyone else there?
I'm here, yeah.
Okay,
I'm here.
can you guys see me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, I'm not gonna worry about it then. I'm gonna keep talking. All right. So think about those questions that we had talked about and send it in the 2022 chat or in our consistency chat, because I think most of us are showing up in that group. And then we can support each other and hold each other accountable to do those things. And I'll drop mine in there too. So I'm going to leave you with this. God loves to put wings on dreams that his kids chase, dreams that can bring him glory. So what are your God-sized dreams and how are you going to chase them? I've been thinking about this a lot, and it's a big question. And I know that all of you are capable and we can do this together. We are one plexus. We are the community that everyone needs to be a part of and feel that love and to do all of those things for their health, for their finances, for their community, for their family. So I hope you guys got something out of this tonight. And those are my struggles too. So I will drop all of that stuff in there, and I hope you guys too. Any questions or anyone have anything to add?
Good job and thank you.
Yeah,
That's
you're
great,
welcome.
Nicole.
You're welcome.
So good. Thank you.
Yes. I hope you guys have a good night.
Good night, thank you.
Bye, ladies.
Bye.
Bye.